Okay, let's get more on this story now from Mustafa Caner, who is an assistant professor of the Middle East Institute at Sakarya University. Welcome to you, Mustafa. I mean, the situation that we seem to be looking at now is an isolated Iran. It's recalling its ambassadors. Iran working away in secrecy on its nuclear program. Is that a situation that these sanctioning countries want?
I think yesterday's decision has wasted diplomatic efforts made by relevant parties for over 10 years. Pre-2015 sanctions will be reapplied, but I don't think it will make a huge difference for Iran's economy because the deal has not been functioning since 2018, when the Trump administration withdrew the United States from the agreement. And the European powers, international financial institutions, European firms, were not working with Iran due to the fear of secondary sanctions from the United States. So what's the meaning of this decision, which was made by United Nations Security Council yesterday? I think it's significant in two ways. First, under the UN sanctions, Russia and China will not be able to sell weapons to Iran. I think this is very critical. However, when we look at these countries' reaction to yesterday's decision, they are saying that E3 countries have no legal basis to invoke the snapback mechanism. So they are saying that they will not abide by the decision, and they are opening the UN Security Council's legitimacy ground into debate. So I think the fact that this very structure, which has been under harsh criticism due to genocide in Gaza, now has made another decision, will deepen the tension and escalation regarding the Iran case as well. I think this will deepen the crisis of the international system. And the second phase of this decision, I think, will may produce another outcome, which is the risk of being this decision used by Israel as an excuse to assault Iran second time. As you know, the first time was in June, and now Netanyahu is stuck in Gaza, and there is no way he can continue to commit genocide in Gaza. Maybe you saw that yesterday's UN General Assembly, he was diplomatically and effectively isolated at the General Assembly. So there are no support for him to continue the genocide in Gaza. However, attacking Iran, that he can get European powers' support. And maybe you remember in the first phase of the war in June, German Chancellor Merz said that Israel is doing our dirty job. So that means that attacking Iran will be less costly for Israel. And
Mustafa, sorry to interrupt you, but you mentioned about the possibility there of Israel carrying out another attack on Iran. I mean, it's one thing for Iran to withdraw and now continue working on its nuclear program, but if it's fearful of another attack from Israel, doesn't that mean it has to come back at some point to avoid that, come back to the negotiating table?
So when we look at the initial reaction from Iranian side, as you mentioned and your correspondent mentioned, Iran recalled its 3 ambassadors from Germany, United Kingdom and France. And the initial reaction from Iranian side also implied that there are several options on the table for Iran. And one of the options is that exiting the NPT, non-proliferation, nuclear proliferation treaty. However, when we look at President Pezeshkian's initial remarks, he said that as long as Iran's nuclear rights are preserved, there is no cause for exiting the NPT right now. So I think there are still voices in Iran to cast for a diplomatic solution. So I think that it will be a hot debate also in Iran, and Iranian side will calculate its options carefully.
Mustafa, appreciate you taking the time. Come on, speak to us. My guest is Mustafa Caner, Assistant Professor of the Middle East Institute at Sakarya University.